Hello, I'm Thitinan Nigamsom, the creator of Victim TRPG and the project manager of Hexa House. Today, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Redwood Forest, which is the starting point of the Victim game. Victim TRPG is based on the board game Victim, which I designed in 2020. It tells the same story, but with much more detail added. The story is given additional depth and greater dimension. The sequence of events takes place after a large cargo plane belonging to the Coinson Company, which was responsible for transporting various goods or ancient artifacts collected from all over the world, was on its way to an important auction event in New York. However, the plane unfortunately crashed in the heart of the Redwood Forest before it could reach its intended destination. The news of the crash was then covered up and concealed by the Coinson Company in collaboration with the government. You will take on the role of one of the characters who goes in search of the truth about what happened, why the plane crashed, and what occurred in that forest after the crash. But once you uncover the truth, you'll have to try to escape from that forest because what happened there involves supernatural events. You'll get to play as various characters such as Rolita, who is searching for her father, the president of Coinson, who disappeared on the day of the crash. Or you might play as Anya, who go to investigate the truth because you are a journalist who needs to carefully find out whether someone is hiding important information or concealing the real story. And this is the starting point of Victim TRPG, which allows you to step in and play a role, or you could be another character who gets involved with Victim TRPG. That's also possible. After everyone has tried stepping into the shoes of a character in Victim TRPG, you can also create your own character. If you were to enter that world, you could be anyone you want. The game itself is structured in a one-shot format, meaning you can complete a session within 2 to 4 hours, depending on the storyline the GM provides for the players. And in the core rulebook, there's also a starter scenario included. So, for anyone who has never played a TRPG before, Victim TRPG is another recommended title for new players. One of the highlights of Victim TRPG is its unique time mechanic, or what we call time points. Everyone who enters the world of Victim TRPG will find it almost like a real world. Every 30 minutes in the game world is equivalent to 1 TP. That means that any action you take or anything you do will cause you to lose time in that world as well. Therefore, if the time in that world runs out, it means the game will end in a sad way as well. So, this is another point that makes Victim TRPG different from other TRPG. And in addition, there is also a time attack system that specifically counts down 5 seconds whenever a player is in an emergency situation or has to face something unexpected event. The GMs count down to push players to make their decisions more quickly before the time completely runs out. Otherwise, if the player cannot decide on an action within the given time, they will be stuck in the freezes in fear, unable to proceed until their next turn. This is highlight that truly makes our game feel even more thrilling and immersive within the world of the Victim TRPG. As for the main mechanic used in the game, we call it the Test of 6. It's a system that utilizes 6 six-sided dice. Each player receives dice when they have to test by GM according to their character's attributes, which there are 6 attributes in total, such as intelligence, strength, dexterity, constitution, willpower, or luck. When players face certain challenges in the story, like climbing a mountain or a tree, or maybe they need to pick a lock, or perhaps do something similar to that. In this case, the GM will announce which attribute you need to test, as well as what the difficulty level is. If you roll the dice as instructed by the GM and any of the dice you roll meet or exceed the difficulty, it means the player has succeeded in the test. If the test is successful, the player overcomes the obstacle. And if you succeed by rolling a 6, the player will gain a new skill related to that action. For example, if a player is climbing a mountain and rolls successfully with a 6 among the results, it means that the next time they climb, the player will gain a skill that increases their proficiency, so they won't need to roll the dice for that action again. However, if the player fails the dice roll, they will still gain experience points, but there might be negative consequences for the character or the group. These experience points can be used to upgrade the character to improve attribute stats, so that when rolling dice in the future, in the next test, they will get to roll 1 additional die. And in addition, another highlight of Victim is that if you have become proficient in playing TRPG, players can choose to create their own characters. You will leave the fields for strengths, weaknesses, and skills of the character blank. The GM will be the one to assign these to you after hearing your character's story, whether it's the character's background, physical traits, or personality. All your friends in the group will also get to hear your character's story and get to know your character together. This is to ensure that everything aligns as closely and precisely as possible with your character. So when you step into the game, you'll truly feel that the skills, weaknesses, or strengths you've been given genuinely fit your character. Next, about the metagame pressure system. This is a system in which players will often discuss among themselves about what to do or what decisions to make during the game. The GM can tie this process into the game. If your team spend too much time discussing or overthinking about what to do, the GM can put additional pressure on the players by reducing TP. This encourages players to make decisions more efficiently while still allowing for meaningful discussion. This can be effectively applied in the game because it helps you feel that your character and your real-life self are truly connected and you'll need to make the most of your time. As for the main objective of this game, players must work together as a team to solve challenging events and find a way out of the forest. Players will take on the roles of pre-generated characters, or if they wish, they can create their own unique characters. The GM will provide a main scenario for the adventure. As for how the game ends, if the players are able to cooperate and reach the final destination of the scenario, they will successfully complete the game. However, if the players are unable to overcome the challenges, or if any player dies, falls unconscious, or loses their sanity during the game will also end. As for the characters in this book, we have pre-generated characters, or pre-gens for short, for players to choose from 6 characters. If you have no prior experience playing TRPG, we recommend starting with a pre-gen character to help you learn the game system and understand which aspects your character, as well as what role you should take on within your group. The characters available for you to choose from are the 6 main characters from the Victim board game: Rolita, Lucien, Anya, Sean, Vivian, or Diego. They're all included. Players will get to learn about different perspectives through the characters in greater depth and gain a better understanding of the characters or their actions. But after players have finished playing through once, if players want to create their own characters, they can do that as well. We will provide a character sheet for them. Players just need to fill in the various details, especially the parts about the character's strengths, weaknesses, and skills. After players finish creating their characters, the GM will ask, "Who are you?" This gives players the chance to tell their own story to the GM. The GM will then assign you various skills, as well as strengths and weaknesses, to ensure that the skills are as consistent with your character as possible. Finally, another highlight of our game is the traitor mode, which is optional. It's an alternative that players can choose to participate in. Normally, in TRPG, all players cooperate with each other, with the GM serving as the sole obstacle in the game, controlling the evils or monsters to fight against the player group. However, one interesting feature of Victim TRPG is that within your group of players, there might be a traitor. There could potentially be a traitor among you, and this traitor can take 2 forms. The first form is a character who secretly joins the group with a hidden mission that differs from the main objective of the game. The second form is someone who transforms into an evil midway through the game. Therefore, in this game, there is absolutely no guarantee that all players will always help each other. Sometimes, someone in your group might unexpectedly turn out to be a traitor and betray you, and that's a brief overview of this type of TRPG. For anyone who wants more information, you can check out the details on Backer Kit, as our project is currently launching there. And please feel free to follow us, or if you need any more information, you can always email to us if you need more information. This is Victim TRPG that I'd like to recommend to everyone. Whether you're an experienced player or someone completely new to the role-playing game, I think it's suitable for everyone. Because Victim TRPG is designed as a one-shot format and easy-to-learn systems, so whether you have experience or not, you'll find it easy to understand. Therefore, as the creator of Victim TRPG and as a representative from Hexa House, I would like to recommend Victim TRPG to try out. Right now, you can download Quick Start for free and try playing it first to get a general idea of the system. The story in Quick Start takes place before the main storyline, where every player will take on the role of a character on an airplane before it crashes in the middle of the forest. If anyone wants to try it out, just download and play. Lastly, don't forget to tell us about the great story from your group.